Okay, we got the engine all cleaned up, or the block all cleaned up. Honed the cylinders. They all look good. There's little shadows here and there, but overall I think it's in really good shape. Well, here. Yeah, I went through all of the bearings. You can see here. They all look really good. So we're gonna go ahead and put it back together. So one thing we're gonna start with is the rear main. This actually, once it's installed, would be the upper side, obviously, into the block. Now, I don't know if you can see this or not, but see how much that's sticking out? From what I have read, so you can see we're even on that side, and then you got that much sticking out. Well, I think that's why, at least if you believe what people tell you on the internet, that's one of the reasons why these Fords, when you use it's the one upgrade seal from Felpro, that they leak, is that you got to figure both sides are doing this, and when you squeeze it down, what they're saying is that actually with that wire in there, it puts so much pressure that you don't actually get a good seal on the bottom, that it actually pushes the seal down into the groove too much, and you don't have a seal against the crankshaft. So what I'm going to do now is here, I'll show you. Here we go. So got it zeroed out, okay? And I'll start it up here, and you can see we're even on this side. Now again, they're saying 10 thousandths. So when I run this down, keep it nice and straight. Look at that. So we're up at like 30. Yeah. Well, no, we're over 100. Sorry. So it's way long. So what you have to do is grind those down, or you can cut them, but I found once you get that metal, you're better off grinding. And when I did the temporary fix on this during the season, where I basically went from underneath the car, pulled the pan off, and strung one up in through here, the bearing, I did that, and it actually sealed pretty good. It still dripped, but it was because it's really hard to get this seal up when you got the crank installed. I dropped it down a little bit, but you kind of got to push this in, and I could tell I was peeling a little bit of rubber off, so I was surprised it did as well as it did. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and grind this now, and we'll try to get that down to we're at about a 10th thou. Okay, so I took my time. It took me back and forth 3 or 4 times to the grinder, and I just went really slow. What you want to do is make sure you don't stay on the metal so you get it hot and where you might distort the rubber. But if you look at that, that's right at, it's actually showing about 15 to 20. Well, actually, it's showing about 30. But I mean, just from the eyeball, that looks, when you think about, that was up almost 1/8 of an inch. So that's right where you want to be, I think. You can see over the other side, I'm flush. So hopefully that'll solve the problem. And when you're putting these in, make sure the little tab comes out. Make sure you don't have a interface problem. Sometimes they have some of the seals. Let me see if I can pull this out. Some of the seals have a tab or a prong that comes out of the seal on the bottom here. This one doesn't. Most of the new ones don't. But on some of the engines, they actually had a little hole in this groove. I don't know if you can see it very good. And then the little rubber tit was supposed to push down in there to center it. But this is my third block, and I haven't run into that yet. So anyway, we'll push it down there, make it in. The little tab's out, which means the little lip is in. Think of it this way. As the pressure builds in the engine, it's going to push this lip here against the crank bearing surface, and that'll seal it. And if you put them in backwards, the more crankcase pressure you build up, the worse it's going to leak, which is actually kind of works the opposite then. So anyway, now on these, the other thing you want to do is you want to push them down. I should have done that. So you got about a quarter, 3/8 of an inch down, like something like that. So that's up. Once you've got the right dimension on it, then push it, give you a little lap, and that gives you a little extra protection on sealing, so you don't end up with the joint between the bearing cap and the block lining up with the seam in the two halves of the seal. So it offsets a little bit. Then you put just a little bit of silicone here, a little bit of silicone there, and then let it, that'll seal up the joints well. Okay, I got it all torqued down. Everything looks good. Still moves nice and smooth. Especially with, I got that kind of heavy oil in there, so it's actually getting better now as it works that in. I torqued it to 105, I'm pretty sure with the ARP, that's right. I don't know, you probably saw me take some time with the rear seal here. You probably also noticed I put these caps in backwards. For some reason I was pointing them to the rear, and I know better. So when you're doing these, you see the little arrow. So here's a number 2, so here's 1, 2. That's the second bearing cap. And that arrow is supposed to be pointing forward. And I had it backwards. It didn't do any damage, but it did tell you they need to be all in the same direction because it wasn't turning. So there's all of that. So next thing will be kind of looking at these journals, but I just don't think they're worth messing with. I think I might do more harm than good. They're in good shape, and the bearings on the rods here look good. So that'll be the next thing then, is I'll start putting the pistons in. I've got them over here. I didn't, probably a lot of guys will argue with this, but I didn't even take the rings out. They look good. I kind of cleaned the pistons up again. Again, they got pretty black because of that last run. I wasn't able to go wide open and clear everything out. And I just kind of went mid-range all the way back to the pit, to the trailer. So, but I got them very cleaned up, and they'll be ready to go. Here's the old seal. I don't know if you can tell or not, but, well, this isn't the one I had to push in. I don't know where if I could find that one that was in the bottom. It would be kind of interesting to look at that. Here we go. So, yeah, see where that thing got, as I was pushing it in there? I don't know if you can see it or not, but that edge kind of got, yeah, see that? So it's amazing it sealed as good as it did. Of course, that's on the outer edge, but that's what I could see. It wasn't going real good, but you know, you were doing something that, if all things were considered, you wouldn't do it that way, but that's the way it works. So I'll probably call it a day. I'm not going to force anything out here, and we'll start on the pistons tomorrow. Get them in. I'm going to go with that high capacity oil pump that I've had for a long time. It actually came with the car. All the stuff that Paul had. Where is it? Anyway, it's over here.